Hey everyone, Medium Nicole here for this amazing episode of Empower Your Soul. I'm starting this a little different, I guess, because this is going to be a little bit different. I want to talk about the podcast itself and maybe my journey a little bit with it, but more so specifically, the fact that I have some free readings coming up that are live on the podcast. And if I'm honest with all of you, where I wanted to take this podcast originally before I started it. Oh, this is going to come full circle. Spirit's already bringing all the pieces together in my head about why I'm supposed to hit record on this topic. Because I originally wanted to take a book out of, I'm going to say, another podcast that is very popular from another medium where she just does readings in every single episode. And I thought, well, that sounds great. I love listening to that podcast. I love listening to people's evidential mediumship readings. Honestly, I could sit and listen and watch mediumship stuff all day long and I would enjoy it. I would never get sick of it. So I was like, cool, why don't I just create a podcast to do readings for people and kind of emulate that model? But then I'm realizing as I start making this podcast that it's so important for me to talk about my journey, how I can empower all of you, because it's wonderful to sit one-on-one with somebody and talk to their departed loved ones, talk about their soul alignment, talk about their business alignment, and really get into the weeds and the thick of, what's going on with their life, because obviously people are going to walk away with things from those readings that they can take with them and they can use some of those learnings in their own life. And I love that. But where these one-on-one readings fall short is I'm not letting you know who I am. I'm not being honest about my journey building this business and providing empowerment to my clients. And I'm kind of opening it up to essentially, whatever spirit wants me to talk about on this podcast. So it's been a very interesting journey for me. This is not necessarily where I thought I'd take it. So I hope you're enjoying all of it. Sometimes I feel very awkward and I'm not sure what I should be talking about with all of you, to be completely honest. But I'm just going to continue to do the spirit led and let them lead the way about what I'm supposed to talk about. And I have to say that this different approach for me, it's a little unsettling and unnerving for me. I'm not sure what the right word I want to use is, but it's very uncomfortable for me because I'm not used to talking about myself and talking about my journey and the things that I'm learning. And for me, historically, I've really sat with this energy for about 2 weeks now. Historically, I have always been somebody who puts their achievements on their work external to myself. And that's really interesting to say. And let me back it up with an example because I'm not sure if everyone understands that. But I have always been, again, in the project management, Six Sigma space where I am able to take a project at work, lead that project, and let the project and my ability to do all the tasks, get things done on the right timeline, within the right scope, with the right resources, get that all, completed with external measures that indicate that I am successful at that project. So it's essentially, I take myself out of it, even though I'm managing the project, and I let my work speak for itself. There is no me in it. I provided the work to get it done, but the project and the outcomes and the success of it essentially speaks for itself. It's black and white. It's measurable, for most of it anyway. So in the workspace and where I've been doing this for many, many, many years, I've always allowed these external measures of success prove that I am successful, me as a person. And what's so interesting about shifting to this entrepreneur model for me, and especially this is lately, and this has been very triggering for me, is that people now want to come for me. And it's not just the work that I do. And this was very prevalent in my recent Talking to the Dead, my first class that I hosted with my lovely group of women. Hello, if it's you and you're listening. which is a beginner's mediumship class, by the way. But one of them, lovely, 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 said, I feel called to work with you. There's something about your energy, and I just want to work with you. And for somebody who has always hid behind my projects, my work, and never bring my full self into my job and my career, that's very triggering, because I'm like, I don't know if you know this about me. I have fox energy. I hide. Like I can be in a room of people and no one will see me. This is it's like my superhero strength because I'm such an introvert that I don't want people to see me. I don't want you to know me. But here in what I'm doing now, I can't escape me. I can't hide anymore because I am my work. I am the full embodiment of who I'm supposed to be in this life. And that means that I have to bring my full self to my readings, and not only do my readings and how you feel in those readings speak for who I am, but also me and how I show up in those readings. How's my energy in the readings? Am I delightful to work with? Am I a pain in the ass? All of these things. So I no longer have these external measures for success, which is really interesting. Instead, I have to have these internal measures of success to make sure like I feel good about the readings and the work that I'm doing. So, I mean, it's just this total new direction for me. And I think it's very appropriate that this is going to be a podcast episode where I tell you that I'm struggling to be me and the full version of me in everything that I do at this point. So if you are also feeling like I don't bring my full self, I don't feel vulnerable, I don't want people to know who I am, like I'm with you. I am 100% with you. But I'm also realizing the value of me and what I bring to my readings, to this podcast, is I'm real. Like if I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to tell you anything's great. And if things are great, I'm not going to hold back on what's great, because I want to tell you the full perspective of me, like from every single aspect, every single angle of me, because I don't hide. And it's almost like taking it from a different perspective and saying, I don't want people to see me, but now like, I'm not going to if you do see me, I'm not going to hide anything within me. It's all me or it's all nothing. So maybe this is just my big circle to highlight that me being vulnerable is how I'm going to show up in this podcast. And also, I think that's why the podcast has changed a little bit, so that I can talk to you about me and I can kind of heal that inner wound of myself and allow myself to be shown for who I am. And you either like me or you don't like me. And I can't hide behind anything anymore. That if you don't like me, I can put a facade in front of you that is going to make you like me. So yeah, that's all gone now. I think that's the hardest part about this work. And I think that's why a lot of people drop out from the spiritual work, just because you can't hide anymore. And those of you that do the spiritual work, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you can do this work all day long, but if you don't tell people that you're hiding, and part of that shame, part of that, it seeps into your reading, it seeps into your clients, and you do need to fully embody who you are as a person. So I guess number one, I would recommend you really think about and put yourself out there in every single way, and know that these are all childhood trauma wounds, from wanting to hide, from not wanting to be seen, from not wanting to rock the boat, and wanting to be a perfectionist and be what everybody wants us to be. So this is the era, and this is the time, and maybe it has something to do with astrology in this age of Aquarius, but you need to fully embody you in every aspect of your life. Be the same person in every single interaction, and just realize some people are in alignment with you and some people are not in alignment with you. And whatever that outcome is, that's okay. It doesn't make you an unlikable person. It just means that they're just not matched to your energy. And that's all that means. So I guess that's the first topic I wanted to cover. A little bit of vulnerability. You're going to notice that I skate right past this because I don't want to talk about it. But second of all, I do want to put it out there that what is coming up are these free readings. And I thought it appropriate because I just recorded it. I just got off the phone with my lovely new friend Taylor. Hey Taylor. And she's going to be the first reading that I post on here on this podcast. And we started off with a soul alignment reading from her. So I just want to say, number one, if you're not on my free reading list, head to my website, mediumnicole.com, head to the podcast page, put in your details because I'm going to start releasing free readings every month. Free readings slots every month so that I can get these weekly up there for you, because I do want to stay true to my reason that I wanted to do this podcast, is to give back, is to provide these free readings, is to give you an opportunity to, see how I work. Again, are you in alignment with me? And show what a real reading looks like for soul alignment, for Akashic records, for business alignment, for evidential mediumship, because a lot of what we see out there is scrubbed and there's no there's no no's. It's fast. It's, everything hits, and that's not the reality of what we do. So I wanted to put some real readings out there, not only to give back, but also to show you what real readings look like. And I just want to thank those of you that have volunteered to get the free reading, but that with that free reading comes with you being very vulnerable and putting all of your stuff on display, right? And I'm sure Spirit is going to be very respectful and not go too much into the weeds, but I want to thank you for being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be seen. And also, for those of you that are listening to the readings, I want you to know, and I'm going to reiterate this before the sessions as well, I want you to know that the readings are for you too. So even though I'm sitting one-on-one with a client for these readings, anything that you feel resonates with you, any goosebumps you get, any tingles you get, any chills, anything that resonates with you, that is for you. So even though you're not in the reading, there is no doubt that Spirit is going to have me talk about certain things, say things certain ways that you're like, holy crap, that happened to me. Oh, that was something that I had an intuitive hit on. Oh, that sounds like my grandfather. This is for you too. So know that when you have those moments of knowing that it's personal for you, know that it is personal for you. And that is a nod from Spirit that you need to walk away with that knowledge, with that information, with that tip of the hat. So yes, so I will continue to push myself to be more vulnerable by allowing these unedited recordings to be shared on how I work. And these are legit readings. This is how I do my readings. So if you have questions, comments, honest to God suggestions, I'll take those too. But I just want to thank you in advance for allowing me to be vulnerable, allowing me to be truthful in what I do, and accepting me for who I am from the inside and out. So I just want to thank all of you for being here, as always, listening to this podcast. Again, you want the free reading, go to my website, and I can't wait to start sharing these with you going forward. Oh, we have interviews coming too. That's coming too. But I'll save that for another day. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day.